Okay, so we've given this hearing about a half an hour of time. If you could keep your presentations to say 15 minutes or so, that would be great.
Urgency, I will.
We'll have time for questions and answers after that.
Good evening, everyone. My name is.
I'm Andrew tomorrow, my wife Kelly, owners of 34 Old Colony. We've been there for 3 years. Throughout the site walk, we heard some of the concerns. We've worked hard over the last 24 hours, hopefully,
Is that why you look like you're tired?
to address it.
Big circles
Not
in
my
your
forecast.
eyes.
It's not that it's 10:30.
And you've been waiting for 2 hours.
So Ben and team have worked hard over the last 24 hours to hopefully address some of the concerns. So we look forward to the feedback.
Okay,
I'll let
great.
Vin take off.
Yeah, good. Like you said, yeah, my name's Vin Gattery, the general contractor representing the DeMaros. They currently live in a ranch home that we're looking to raise and build a 2-story colonial home. The new home, the new 2-story colonial will have an RFGA of 4,092. Again, we met with the board, some concerns, and spent the better part of yesterday and today with an engineer trying to make the improvements that the board would have liked us to address. The first plan I have here is the RFGA plan with the abutters. On the plan, there's 11 homes, one of which is 34 Old Colony. If you were to take the top 6 of the 11 homes and average the RFGA, it would be virtually almost the same RFGA of the home we're looking to construct. So the 6 averages out to 4,012, and this home is 4,092. So it puts this home pretty much right in the average of the neighborhood in RFGA. The next plan is the site plan. This is a plan that we revised since yesterday's site walk. What we've done is a number of things here. You push the house 10 feet to the left, pushing it into the higher elevation, the higher continual elevation, for a number of reasons. One, the driveway when you came out of the garage doors, the actual turnaround and driveway there's excellent screening all along all the lot lines, but along the 34 and 40 Old Colony lot line, there's a lot of very mature, large shrubbery, and there's also a 32-inch oak, and the driveway was very close to that 32-inch oak, and a lot of the screening, some of the screening would have had to been moved. In order to keep everything the way it is and give a little bit more buffer to the 32-inch oak, we then moved the driveway, moving it 10 feet over, leaves the buffer totally alone and gives some more protection to the 32-inch oak. More importantly was the board's concern about the grading in the front of the lot. Prior to this revision, we had roughly around a 5% grading, and what we've done is we've changed the grading on the whole front yard to a 2% grading all the way to the street, which is very benign grading, and so that would improve the look of the house and a better presentation for the house in the neighborhood. The next plan is the storm drainage. The storm drainage plan, what we designed is to take all the roof drainage system and tie it into a 330 Caltech recharger, and that will contain all the roof drainage and lessen the water drainage onto the lot and improve that situation. The landscape plan, the house has, on all the lot lines, has a lot of very tall trees and a lot of lower vegetation. One of the biggest concerns is between 34 and 40 Old Colony, and of course moving the driveway improve that. We also plan on when we raise the house, around the house, there's a lot of very mature shrubberies, 7-8 foot shrubs all around the house. We do have one area that's just a little bit thin on the end of the driveway area, and we plan on taking all of those shrubs and repurposing them and transplanting them in that area. And so then we'll have solid vegetation all along that whole lot line, as well as the other 2 lot lines. And then there is one tree that we're not going to be able to save in the front of the house. It was concern of a lot of people. And what we, in working with Kim, came up with the idea of planting a 4-inch maple a little bit further away from the house, so when that matures and that tree comes to its full maturity, it will be in better scale with the house rather than the tree that's there being so close to the front of the house and the front steps and the entry. Next I have the house elevations. This is the front elevation of the house. As you can see on the front elevation of the house, it's very level across the house, and then we'll have a retaining wall over here, and on the side of the house, I'll show you in a minute, will be the driveway, the garage entrance. Also to note, so we don't have to double back, I have on the end the light fixtures. So in the front we have dark sky fixtures on the front, and the same fixtures will be on the back egress doors. The light fixture, there's a cut sheet on the end for the light fixture, and the bulb is screened. And we can circle back on that, but I just wanted to make everybody see that there's 2 light fixtures on the front. There is no post light or any other lighting scheduled for the front.
Do you have the lumen count?
Yes, there's a bulb that's on, there should be a bulb that's attached with it. On the very end, the bulb is behind it.
Right, so what's the
Total
total lumens?
lumens on the property.
Yeah, I don't have that total, but it would be that times 6. 2, 4, 6. 6, and then this bulb, I can get that for you, it just take me a minute.
What is the fixture rated for? Do you know what the fixture's rated for?
Yeah, let me see. What's that?
You can keep going out, I can look it up. Is there only 2 fixtures?
There's 2 on the front entrance, there's 4 in the back.
No, looks like there are 2 different types.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the fixture on the side is a total down, it's that down light, the old-fashioned down light, and that's on the side of the garage doors. So this elevation over here shows that, this is a lower elevation with a drive-under garage. The back elevation of the home, there's a retaining wall right here, so now it's again on the same elevation as the front of the house. It's a flat elevation here, and we're grading into that backyard that slopes into the house. And also to note on the back here, so we have 2 more egress doors, and so we have the same light as in the front of the house. So a total of 6 light fixtures here, and then on the garage side, 3 of the down, and that's the total of light fixtures. And on the left side of the house, it's just the flat elevation.
Okay. Good.
There it is. 90. How many of the little ones that go out like that?
3 down.
So that's 4,500.
4,500.
It's really 4,470. And
Yeah.
then how many of the other ones?
6.
It's 40 watts. They don't have the lumens. What's the approximation of 40?
Says 40 or 60.
Yeah, I think they're using say 60, just to make it easy.
What's the equivalent?
I think it's like, well, it'd be based off the other one. It'd be about 900?
If it's an incandescent or?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
It's frosted, but assume it's clear. Say it's
How
a
many
clear.
are there? 6?
Six of these?
But it has a filtered glass, that's correct.
Yeah.
And it has a filtered glass in the front.
So I get about 10,000 lumens.
Yeah, so it's,
That's worst case.
yeah, I was told there would be no math like this.
So that's a,
I was trying to help you with the calculator.
Okay. So, Kim, by the way, congratulations. It's much better.
Yeah,
I
so
think
we
it's come
talked,
quite a way in the
Dave
last
and I
day.
talked a lot
Yeah,
with
they worked a lot with
after
us.
the site walk, and
Yeah.
to me, in my opinion, the grading was was more problematic than the tree removal. So
Yes.
my feedback to them was, let's lessen the grade, make the house feel more settled. And then that one tree that we were sort of more upset about losing was that
Which one? Is the
right
big
in
center
front.
one in the
Yeah.
front, and that's where you put the 4-inch?
And that's
caliper
where we're
maple?
gonna do a 4-inch caliper.
Can you
But,
point out where that is, because I couldn't tell from.
Okay,
Well,
so
here it
big
is.
oak goes, but there's a lot
But
less manipulation
it's
on the
less, the
site.
grading makes it less impact.
Yeah, okay. So
That's-
it isn't
that
just
means
gonna
you
move?
moved?
Yes, that's correct.
And where's the point?
The 4-inch maple is going to be over here. So just move it far
How
a little
big
bit
is the 4-inch maple?
It's probably gonna be like
20?
20 to 22.
That's not a bad tree, that's
No.
a reasonable sized tree.
Yeah.
But mostly if the house is down lower,
Well, up here
it's
now,
all,
It'll
if
appear
it
down
all
lower.
looks like it's a
Yeah.
little
Yeah,
bit
I
more
mean-
settled
They're
rather than,
shifting it.
yeah.
you had, if you were looking at the house before, you kind of had like that, right? And I think people were reacting to that. This is just more steady up.
Mhm.
And then what we didn't actually suggest, but I think is, you know, they come up on their own, is by sliding it over, it accomplishes that as well. They're not sliding it over and up, they're sliding it over into the steeper grade a little bit more,
Right.
so it will kind of settle in a little bit more, especially the left side will settle in more.
Right.
more than
Yeah.
natural grade.
Yeah, I think it's a better plan.
You know, if the house scale fits the lot, it's,
Yeah. Definitely retaining wall.
But it's not sloping.
That's the way it is
just
right
sloping
now.
Towards it,
yeah.
Right.
I mean, there'll be a little bit of.
The
grading
stormwater-
to the side, but
it's fine, they're taking all the, you know, so there will be appreciably less runoff from the site when they're done. You know, that, I understand that, you know, the street, there is like a low pot and it has issues. They will lessen the impact of those issues, so it won't solve the problem, but the problem will be less when they're done.
By the way, just for Michael Harity's edification, I know he's left, and maybe he watches television. This is why sidewalks are a good thing. You don't know before you get there what the lay of the land is, but a lot of times things really shake out from making that visit.
Absolutely.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about in terms of the landscaping, or is it pretty
No,
settled?
it's fine.
Okay. Any questions, comments from the board?
Congratulations, I'm sorry about your lack of sleep.
I appreciate the help. They were invaluable helping us work through this, spent a lot of time with us after the site walk and then follow-up, so it was a big help to us.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely, yep, made all the difference in the world.
I just had a question about drainage a little bit. So
Yeah.
we walked to the backyard and had a really good explanation of building it off. And the ground was able to absorb more of the rainwater than before. And you said it's much like the house to the left as you face the house and done as well as the backyard. And then I walked down the street and I talked to a neighbor who lived across the street from the new house. And I said, yeah, they're doing much landscaping in the same way. And they're building up this Scandinavian home, I think it's just to your left now. And the neighbor shared with me that created a lot of new drainage problems. He said, oh yeah, their basement floods all the time. So I'm not saying that your basement's gonna flood all the time. I just wanna make sure that you've talked to that neighbor and you know whatever new issues were created by a similar landscaping that you're planning.
Okay.
Because the house has flooded beyond expectations. And he said it created a new pool out front between the two homes that wasn't there before. And then that tended to drain down the street as well to the wetlands. So,
It'd be worth looking into.
yeah, I think you should talk to those owners and say what happened there,
Absolutely.
what was the cause of
Absolutely,
that, and have we already built in prevention of this into our present plans?
Yeah, that's a
I think
good
it
place.
was mentioned at the site visit that DPW is gonna be putting in a new water line.
We're replacing the water mains.
And so I will talk with Tom Cullen about seeing if he can address the drainage. So the water lines.
I'd like to see in plan where the retaining walls are,
Yes.
which I don't, and
Yeah, I think they're right there, see that one?
Kind of hard to
those This is it?
Yes, yeah. And then there's one back here.
If that's not the way you have them drawn here, it looks like they're perpendicular
Well,
to.
he's just showing a cut. It's just a cut, a grade cut. Not actually showing the wall, he's just showing a grade cut. So when, I can put on a bigger plan here for you.
Here's the big plan.
It goes to here.
Okay, so it comes right off the front, and so the grading, you can see the gradings are gonna wrap around.
Ties into it.
Oh, I
Goes right
see.
around, okay, and then right here, and then the grading goes, wraps around 208, 206, 204, and that's the natural grade 204.
And what is what are the walls made of?
Stone, field stone.
So this is 202. What level is the garage at?
202.4.
202, okay.
And this is
And it's
pretty-
only going to 204?
No, 206,
206,
208,
okay.
209.
Not as much as I
No,
Roof line
it's
is-
really,
thought. And what is the first floor?
It was 35 feet, I
210.
thought.
210.
That's what we,
So that hasn't changed at all on the average?
is the ridge line still 35 feet
35
above
feet,
average
even
grade?
Yeah, that's correct, yep.
Wait, if the basement's at, how do you go from 202 to, that's 8 feet, including the joists.
202. Top of cement, that's top of
Okay.
cement. Not the top, not the top of the floor. I have the elevator on the
Okay.
floor. First floor is 211.65.
Okay. Questions this end of the table, any comments? No? No? Good. In that case, we'll look at the draft decision on when,
The first,
right? Well, we're not looking for any, are we looking for any more information from them?
I think we'd like final calculations on exact lumen
Sure.
count.
I can do that. I can
Um,
get that for you tomorrow.
Okay, and we just got the revised plans, so.
So, the reason why I'm asking, we could actually close the hearing and just,
I wouldn't do it until we vote, and, because we're gonna be getting some information.
all right. So we'll continue then to July 1st, what time?
9, probably 9 or 9:30.
Okay. 9:30 on July 1st. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think you guys are all set.
If you want, I can just give the lumen count. I'll take a couple minutes to get to it. Would that work?
Just
Thank you,
email
guys.
us.
Okay.
It's all right, decision.
Okay, thank you.
The reason why I said that is because now we don't wind up,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? If we could do that sometimes.
Okay.
Okay, we're ready for the,
Yeah.
pardon?
Favorite